Okay, so it's been a while since we last reviewed a Realme phone. If I remember it correctly, the last time was the Realme 12 Pro Plus. I was not able to review the 13, but sabi ko sa sarili ko, I will not let this year pass without getting my hands on the Realme 14 Pro Plus. And here we are now, so let's talk. Hey guys, it's your Tech Girl Mary and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So, pagtapos nating pag-usapan yung Samsung A56, yung Nothing Phone 3A Pro, and even the iPhone 16e, ito na tayo ulit sa same segment, but this time it's from Realme. In fairness, ang daming products that is at around 27,000 to 30,000 pesos na naglabasan. This segment is very interesting for me. At the same time, I badly wanted to know how this phone compares with its competition. I did not do an unboxing on TikTok, so let's do a quick one here on YouTube. If you're familiar with the brand Realme, you'd know that their packaging has always been yellow. Actually, it's not even Poco that I remember whenever I see a yellow color. It's always been Realme to me. Of course, we have a smaller box that contains the paperwork and the case. Okay, medyo sad ako kasi medyo may something going on with its design, pero yung case na kasama itim. We got an 80 watts SuperVOOC power brick and of course yung ating Type-C to Type-A charging cable. For the design, at first glance, I would say, kung titignan ko yung mga pictures that the Realme 13 Pro series looks like, parehas halos eh. Actually, kung hindi ka nga medyo into tech, into smartphones, you would notice or mapapasabi ka talaga na, are those the same phones? But if you were to take a closer look, ano bang bago? Realme 14 Pro Plus is definitely something. Etong pearl white color na meron tayo, meron siyang swirly design, or should we say wavy pattern that makes it unique. And according to the brand, gumamit daw sila ng totoong seashell powder for a matte yet sparkly finish. Actually, dun sa mga na-mention ko, hindi pa nga siya masyadong interesting eh. What made this device interesting is the fact that they made it thermochromic pigment that turns into blue every time the temperature goes down below 16 degrees Celsius. Nung nakuha ko tong phone na to, nasa Barcelona ako noon. So, na-test ko, nakita ko na nag-iiba nga talaga yung kulay niya. So, yup, kung nasa ibang bansa ka, cool to. Pero dito sa Pilipinas, hindi talaga siya masyadong useful. Actually, overall, yung technology behind it, it was nice, it's beautiful, but personally, I have to say, it really is a gimmick. Lalong-lalo na nung nalaman ko na yung pagka-temperature sensitive niya won't last forever. Meaning, in about a year of use, makikita mo na mas magiging less effective yung color changing niya. And I think it's also because the technology behind it, yung sensitivity niya to UV light and all sort of those things. Pero alam niyo yun, konti na lang din kasi ngayon yung percentage ng mga tao na bumibili ng phone basing it doon sa pakulo na meron sila on its design. But what's good with its durability, something na hinanap ko sa Nothing Phone 3A series, is yung pagkakaroon ng IP68 and IP69 classifications. So yes, it can withstand water splashes and even full submersion to water. Additionally then, this phone comes with a Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, which is good because even though we all thought that it's just all about aesthetics, this phone can definitely be durable. Now let's talk display. If you will notice, we have here a curved, teka, bawasan natin ng brightness kasi parang hindi siya masyadong makita. So, if you will notice, we have a curved display here. Ibang-iba doon sa mga recent phones that is priced at this point. Now, we recently talked about like A56 from Samsung, Nothing Phone 3A Pro, and even iPhone 16e. But if you were to compare it to its predecessor, yung display size nito ay medyo mas malaki. At the same time, although I am not the biggest fan of curved displays, yung pagkakaroon niya ng quad curve design really makes the bezels slim or at least appear slimmer, it gave our overall experience more immersive. At the same time, yung pagka-curve doon nung display niya is not that deep, so I don't think you'll experience accidental mistouches. Display refresh rate lets you choose between 60Hz and 120Hz. Now, if you are looking for the speaker, yung pangalawa, meron tayong speaker cutout sa ibabaw ng display na medyo hindi masyadong visible, but it's there. At the same time, I appreciate that this phone supports 10-bit panel, pero wala po tayong HDR or even Dolby Vision certifications. Since nasa display na rin naman tayo, and since yung previous phone na pinag-usapan natin is the Nothing Phone 3A Pro, let's talk about bloatware. So upon booting up this device, I was bombarded with a lot of applications I didn't ask for, which has always been the case naman talaga with realme devices. However, yes, these applications can be uninstalled. It also runs with a Realme UI 6.0 na based on Android 15. Kung user ka ng Oppo devices, medyo similar yung UI or interface niya doon. Actually, hindi na nga rin siya nalalayo doon sa Oxygen OS na meron yung OnePlus, pero ang pinagkaiba lang nun, eto, may bloatware. At the same time, Realme promised 2 years of OS update and 3 years of security patches. Now, in terms of usage, kung medyo matagal-tagal na kayong hindi gumagamit ng isang Realme phone, magkahiwalay na po ang quick settings and notifications. So, magkabilaan yan. At the same time, may mga unique features din siya like air gestures. And of course, present na ang AI features katulad ng Gemini, Google Circle to Search, and even yung mga AI erase. Now, let's talk cameras, which is something I'm pretty sure you guys are waiting for. Kung mapapansin nyo, no, eto, lalapit tayo, meron tayong tatlong camera. Pero nagulat ako kasi meron din tayong tatlong LED flash. Maya-maya pag-uusapan natin yan. We have here a triple camera setup, which is comprised of 50 megapixels main camera. Meron din tayong 50 megapixels na 3x telephoto lens. And lastly, an 8 megapixels ultra-wide. Medyo hardware-wise, similar siya with what the Nothing Phone 3A Pro offers. And same with that phone, nagiging macro mode din yung dedicated 3x telephoto lens niya, which is good. Pero ang kinaganda ng meron yung Realme is that yung 3x periscopic camera niya has a large 1/2-inch sensor and has an OIS. At the same time, in fairness, I am impressed with how the camera module looks like, or at least how thin it is. Andito yung Nothing Phone ko, mako-compare natin kung gaano kanipis yung camera bump niya compared to what the Nothing Phone offers. Now for the LED flash na minention ko kanina na tatlo. Actually guys, how it works, somehow similar with how Vivo V-series are doing their Aura Light. Pero syempre, to make it more unique, iba yung pakulo ni Realme dito. Instead of using bicolor LEDs, dito guys, each unit has a different color temperature. At the same time, yung phone nag-increase or nag-decrease ng brightness of each LED to change the overall color output. If you were to go to the camera app, sa pinaka-kanan may makikita kayong bagong icon that is round. If you were to click this, you get to choose between Deja Vu, Retro, Misty, Glowy, Dreamy. Actually, these are filters, and two from this filter lets you or makes use of the LED flash. When it comes to versatility, I would say this phone can definitely deliver. Having a dedicated telephoto lens at this price point, it's definitely useful. And zooming in beyond this range, in fairness, the results are also decent. For as long as you stay below 20 times digital zoom. I think the only lens that is a bit of a letdown for me is yung 8 megapixels ultra-wide niya. Makikita mo agad yung drop ng quality niya. At the same time, it really lacks detail, especially in low light conditions. Now, in terms of the selfie camera naman, we get a 32 megapixels. One thing I like about this front camera is that this has an eye autofocus, which is even some of the flagship phones lack. For video shooting, it can capture up to 4K 30 FPS para sa main camera, telephoto, and even selfie camera. Ultra-wide lang guys yung medyo letdown I told you earlier since this also only shoots 1080p. Stabilization-wise, okay lang, sakto lang. I would say it's basic. It gets the job done pero medyo malayo siya sa ganda ng video quality na binigay sa akin ng Samsung Galaxy A56. Now, let's talk performance. Yung chipset na meron to, hindi to nalalayo again sa Nothing Phone 3a Pro na meron tayo. Why? Because they have the same Snapdragon 7S Gen 3. Although, yung review unit na meron ako has a 12 gig of RAM with 512 gig of storage. Medyo mas mataas lang compared doon sa Nothing Phone na review unit na meron ako. Katulad ng sinabi ko sa Nothing Phone review ko, ganun din yung naging experience ko actually with this one. I'm not expecting it to be top of any benchmark charts, but I believe it should be powerful enough for most people's needs. Eh kung pang day-to-day use lang, it's hard to tell the difference between this phone and the flagship phone. Except na lang syempre pag nag-open ka at naglaro ka ng mga demanding games tulad ng Genshin. With that one, yung difference niya, it becomes more apparent. Now, in terms of battery life, I think dito talaga mo makikita yung malaking upgrade niya. Nagulat ako nung nalaman kong may 6,000 mAh battery capacity to considering na ang nipis lang ng device na to. Talagang lumalaban siya with smartphones even like Vivo V50 na meron ding 6,000 mAh. The battery life is more than what I expected. At the same time, they also did put a silicon carbon battery which is not common with this price range. At the same time, kahit na malaki yung battery capacity niya, 80 watts din yung charging speed niya. Sa isang oras ng pag-charge namin ng phone, again, this is from 0%, we were able to get 71% of battery. Medyo mas mababa doon sa claim nila na full charge nga daw agad in just under 1 hour. Now, let's talk pros and cons. I'll be honest, hindi masyado akong nahirapan when it comes to making this video. Realme was one of the very first few brands na ni-review ko when I was still starting. Sobrang ganda ng smartphone nila, at the same time, competitive yung price point nila simula nung nag-uumpisa ako. So yes, I would say they were able to establish their brand and their positioning. But of course, a lot has changed. If I were to give you guys my verdict for the Realme 14 Pro Plus, I think it's a well-rounded smartphone kung hindi software ang priority nyo when it comes to buying your next smartphone. Again guys, this category kasi, lalo na yung 27 to 30,000 pesos smartphone, ang dami eh. May Vivo V50, meron tayong Nothing Phone 3a Pro, meron tayong Samsung Galaxy A56, tapos sinabayan pa nitong bagong Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G. Marami talagang offerings with this price range at malilito ka talaga. Each of these smartphones I mentioned, including this, has its own strengths and weaknesses. However, whatever you choose between these phones, I doubt that you will regret it. You just have to look for that phone you're looking for that you're willing to compromise with. If you want a cleaner software and distinctive design, then go for the Nothing Phone 3a Pro. But then if you are not looking for the best camera quality but you want the best performance, go for the Poco F7 Ultra. Konting kembot na lang makakabili ka na ng phone na to with the budget that you have. But then if you want a longer battery life, a durable device, and a really good telephoto lens with the, again, budget that you have, then definitely go for the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G. Anyway, that's basically it. Again, it's your Tech Girl Mary, and see you in our next video. Bye!